everyone, welcome to this video tutorial by Nailed It Design. I'm Adam Jackson. This is just a tutorial, a quick tutorial, just to explain the now rather long-winded process outlined by Twitter's new version 1.1 API to in our case to enable a tweet feed, or a Twitter feed, whatever you want to call it, on your website. Where, as you can see, ours is back up and running after it went down during last week because of the discontinuation of Twitter's API 1.0. So this is basically how you get it back. I've set up a local version here. This is possibly what you will see on your website if you had an API that was if you had a feed or JavaScript feed that was enabling that was using the 1.0 API, and as you can see, it just sticks in the loading tweets stage of the call through for the Twitter feed. So basically, it don't work. It's broken. So there is some. I'll post some links to these blogs here, these tutorials on basically how to do this. There is some assumed knowledge with these articles, and I found them quite difficult to implement. There's a lot of I found a few gaps in there, but basically it does give you the building blocks and something to follow. So that's why I thought I'd put together this tutorial just to take you through exactly how I do it, enabling it to work on a front end in the end. So this is how. So basically, we're starting from this point, and you've probably got the place on the place where you expect the tweet feed to be displayed in your homepage, or for this is just a demo homepage, or whatever page you've got it on, whether it's in your footer of your website or a sidebar or header or anything like that. You will have a class like an anchor class calling through the JavaScript function, and this is the one that I used to use, that I've posted tutorials about before, and I used to call it through using this JavaScript. So I've put the old one on the this JavaScript, and all you needed was this function to be able to call through any Twitter. This is Sarah Jane from Nailed It's Twitter account information, and you was able to call it through, tell it how many tweets you wanted to display, and it was as easy as that, and the JavaScript took care of the rest. Whereas now, what you need to do is you need to, first of all, this is the main bit that Twitter have changed, is log on to the development site at Twitter. Twitter.com. Log in with your own Twitter ID and password. I thought it might take me straight to it, hasn't. Twitter ID and password, and you need to create, or the developer that you use or whatever can create an application to be able to use their API basically, and this is one that I use. This is the one that I've created for the demo website and for my website. I mean, you can use them for as many sites as you want. Once you've created one, you don't need to create a separate application for different feeds, just different API functions. Obviously, there's other functions that the Twitter API enables, but we're just talking about the tweet feed. So if you was wanting to create a new application, the form looks like this. So it's fairly simple. There's 4 fields to fill out. The bottom one, callback URL, you don't even have to. That's not mandatory, so you can actually leave that blank. The website you put in can be your website or any website that you have control of, or it doesn't necessarily, like I say, it doesn't have to be the one that you're implementing this feed on. You click yes to agree, fill out the captcha, and then you are presented with the details below. Presented with the details here. And these are the details that you've got to copy in to the PHP file that I'll show you in a minute that now calls through all your tweets, or as many tweets as you tell it to, using JSON script. And I'll show you that file now. It is the get tweets file, and as you can see, you've got your I've put my consumer key in there, my access token secret, and etc, etc. And also importantly the actual user that I want to call through, and the number of tweets that I want to call through. And this one is set to 30, but you can actually alter that within the JavaScript once you've actually implemented it on your page. So to get this to work, basically, say this is the root of your site here. This is the root of this test domain here. What you need to do is first of all download, which I'll put on the put below this video, the Twitter Auth master folder, which will contain everything you need to be able to call through the JSON script for your tweets, and it has some other functionality in there, like tweet caching and things like that you're able to, a more advanced user would be able to use. The most important file that you'll receive in this is the get tweets PHP. As you can see, I've removed it from that folder and put it in my root. I advise doing that because the links within here are all relative. The links within this PHP file are all sort of relative to the root. And if you keep everything relative to the root, it's easier, and you don't have to go through the JavaScript file and change the new JavaScript file and change all the links. It can stop things from working. But depending on how you want to do it, obviously you can feel free to do that. But I didn't want to waste everybody's time by going through and changing all the links while I did this tutorial. So I've basically this folder, this get tweets PHP file comes in this folder, the Twitter master, when you download it, and you can just choose to put it wherever you want. You can keep it in that folder if you want, but you got to make sure all the URLs match. Like I say, for ease and more straightforwardness, copy it into the root of your website. Also, I would also advise copying the Twitter Auth master into the root of your website for the same reasons. But like I say, if you want to keep everything in a different folder, then you'll have to make the necessarily amendments. So currently, this tweet for this tweet feed, the one that's not working on the front end, is using the old Sea of Clouds method. I'll also post a link to the changelog of Sea of Clouds, because that's also gone down, and it looks the same as this at the moment, because it used the old method. So basically, it's using this method, which is the JavaScript file that I showed you earlier. So we just need to make a couple of changes, and the first thing I'll do is change this to an ID, and change this to the ID used within the JavaScript, the new JavaScript folder, which I'll put on there on my site for download. And it's now using, as you can see, it's using this ID to call through the tweets. So we'll reflect that in our HTML page. And also, this is the script. I've just commented it out there, so it was easy for me to put back in. But you now need to call through, instead of the old tweet.js, you need to call through the new file. And again, this is in the root folder in Twitter feed, sorry. But you can have this anywhere as long as this URL links to it. And now if we save that and go to our front end, there we go. It's displaying the tweets that were specified. Now, how it's doing this is a mixture of the Twitter user in there using the keys and authentication and the tokens that I've set, that I got from the API key that I created at Twitter, and also that's the version on the website, and also a mixture of that and the new Twitter feed JavaScript. Now at the top here, The display limit I've set to 3. Obviously these bring through various data and things on the front end, but I'll let you have a play with those. But basically, by default, when you download this, all you'll need to change is the Twitter profile and basically the customizable details here, from Sarah Jane's to your own, and also the number of tweets. If I set this to 1, it'll be easier to show. Go back to the front end and refresh, and it now shows 1. It's as simple as that. So it's longer winded in the fact that you have to create an authentication, an API at Twitter, but we've had to do that for years for Facebook, and also Instagram uses the same method. So you can sort of see why they've put it in place to keep tabs on things. But using this JSON method, it's pretty easy to call through and to basically repair the old tweet and the not loading message on the on your current website. I hope this has been help to you, and if you have any questions, email us at naileditdesign, the contact page on naileditdesign.com.